Hello. How's everyone doing today? I am doing good. I've decided what I'm going to do today. Is do a little collage in one of my mini scrap bin journals. I made these ages ago, like probably a couple years ago. I made a whole bunch. I had like my scrap bin was overflowing. So yeah, what I did was each one is made out of 11 sheets of paper. So one for the cover. So I always choose like a cardstock for the cover. This is like watercolor paper. And then inside, it's literally just 10 sheets of stuff from my scrap bin. So yeah, bits and pieces of, torn edges, whatever. Sometimes they're like, they got like things cut out of them or stamped or punched out of them or whatever. So yeah, scraps. And I mean, yeah, some of these are like good scraps, like especially this cover that I could use for something, but like you accumulate so much as a paper crafter. So I do usually keep like my favorites. I now have a little like file folder thing. It's like a magazine holder type thing, but it's like an accordion. So it's got all the little pockets, and I sort it by color. So like, I put my best scraps in there that I'll use for, making something nice. But yeah, these are, I love these too, though. I think they're nice. So I'll show you this one first. This is one that's done. So what I use them for is all of my collage images. I had realized a while back that when I'm going through them, I don't usually use the teeny tiny ones. Some of these are like bigger that I could use in other collage or whatever, but for the most part, like a lot of them are super tiny and they like get lost in my collage bins, like my normal collage bins. Yeah, so see things like this, like a little tiny can of Pringles, so I started a while back sorting them out and just putting them in their own little bin and decided that that's what I would put in here. So in this one, so it's got like I said, bits and pieces. This was from a card that someone had sent me. These are washi stickers. Just neat things. Like that's like tins, I think, of like mints or candies or something. And like I love the rainbow organization of it. So, but like, probably wouldn't put that in a collage, but yeah, so there's not really any organization or rhyme or reason to anything. It's usually just random stuff, like what I think looks good, what I'm feeling at the time. It's like, oh, that looks good there. Sometimes I do go with a theme though. It just kind of happens. Like, I think I put like these two together. So it's like the blue and the orange. So I kind of ran with that on that. So really there's usually not a theme, but I those two like kind of go together. And then like, see this one, I wanted to see a lot of the background because I love the background papers. So I just put like a few little bits on there, some little birbs. Like I've got an excess of owls, like so many owl images that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just, use some of those in this. This one I love, the little teeny tiny, that was out of like a kid's storybook. Yeah, these two were out of a kid's storybook. They were little elves or fairies or whatever. So I put them in there. Yeah, so this is just, it's really, it's even more mindless than regular collage because I'm not making any sort of specific layout or anything. I just kind of glue as I go, and I usually don't work on one page at a time. I usually kind of just flip through and glue as the mood strikes me. Love this one. So this is from, the background is a coloring book page. And then this is a printout from James L. Burke from his Collage Club. This little kid's from like a Somerset studio or something with someone's artwork. That's what I do with that. When you get the arty magazines and like I want to keep people's artwork because it's so cool. So I just put them in my glue books and collage books, right? And then this one, same thing, but like the colors, I love the colors. And then he was from scrapbooking paper, and look at that. Those little like radishes or cherries. I think they're cherries, yeah. And then like a little building, and I just thought that looked really cool. And then those kind of look cool too with it. Yeah, so it's just little bits and pieces that I glue in. Like I said, there's not really any, I love this artist. I have a bunch of bigger pictures of his from an article. And yeah, I'm going to be collaging those into like large glue book pages. Sometimes some stickers kind of thing. This was just a little piece of tape off an envelope someone sent me. It's just a little sticker. Yeah. That's scrapbooking paper cut out. So this is just like a little thing off of vintage, like clothing something or other. just any little bits and pieces. So here I went with teal, definitely, and then red and teal go really nice together. So plus it was kind of nautical feeling I felt. I guess, I don't know why, that's kind of water. And so like the tattoo, you know, piratey tattoo thing going on. Yeah, so I have got so much stuff that, so many images that, you know, I got to look at this. I love this. It's like someone took a vintage person and just painted these like crazy eyes on them. Almost googly eyes, right? Yeah, since I have so many images, like I said, you know, this is just, I can do this while watching TV. Don't even have to think about it kind of thing. Just little bits. And some of them are like kind of big. Like I could use those in like one of my smaller regular collage books, probably, no problem. But yeah, I was like, I got so much of that. But I mean, I guess I got so much of this too, but love that. That was from I think that was from a travel guide. Yeah, that's beautiful. So I didn't want to cover it up too much again. I got this cool like ombre kind of watercolor effect lady. There's a paper gang sticker iridescent. I used to subscribe to them. And it's kind of naturey a little bit. I have this thing for pictures of fish. Pictures and drawings of fish. I have no idea why. I just think they're so like aesthetically pleasing. Isn't that weird? And it's not even like fancy fish. It's just like gray fish. And like little bits, like this was like a lampshade or something out of a magazine. Little tiny bits of artwork. And then little teeny tiny bits that'll get lost wherever. I like this one too. It's vintage. Mostly vintagey kind of thing. Someone's like little painting. Very nice. Look at this. Like a little teeny tiny artwork. I didn't even bother like cutting them out because they're so tiny. Little tiny dog and little tiny squirrel. And a little scrap. Look at that little scrap. I love that letterpress number. Yeah, so this was probably, I think this was like a strip I had cut out of a book. It was like along a page and I had used part of it in a collage and I just cut the little end off. So the little scrap went in here. Yeah, so it's just little bits and pieces. This is like copper tone sunscreen ad. Like where else am I going to put that? And I just, you know, stuck it in there. Yeah, so this is my little scrappy journal. So I finished this one. It looked full to me. It feels finished. And so now I'm doing this one. Normally I don't pre-do the covers. I'll kind of stick things on them as I go along. Like I didn't do these all at once. Like I probably stuck that on there first kind of thing. Oh, I usually do a washi strip just to well, I was going to say secure the binding, but I think in this case the watercolor paper was kind of like getting kind of ragged, so I did that. But yeah, all I did, I forgot to say, was just sell on my sewing machine. I did like a whole bunch of them, but yeah, I had some of these I was going to sell at the Makerspace here in Moncton, her in a review really, but unfortunately my friend Lisa, she closed the Makerspace. There were some things that happened to her and she just wasn't able to run it anymore. So yeah, she did close it. So yeah, that's why I had done some covers on these. I had a bunch of covers. I was gonna sell them over there for like, you know, a few dollars or whatever for a little scrappy journal. Yeah, but now I got a bunch with covers pre-done and boom. And see, this is, I mean, it's a theme, blue and yellow. I thought that was really cute. I really love this. This lady's head was cut off in whatever this was. I think it was probably a fashion magazine from like the 60s or something, I'm guessing. Maybe a catalog. But yeah, blue and yellow. So yeah, I'm just going to play today in this. I was going to grab a small pair of scissors though. I only have the big pair, so if I want to trim anything down, these are so teeny tiny. It's a pain. Actually, these scissors bug me too though, because they've broken. Like I imagine I can probably fix that with just like maybe melting it, soldering iron or heat gun. Actually, it looks like Rob might have done that for me already. I think so. Yeah. Ugh. Cheap, cheap, cheap. I think these were like originally hairdressing scissors, because isn't hairdressing scissors, doesn't that mean that's what they are? Like the little finger thing? Or is that other types of scissors too? Oh, look, scissors. All right, so yeah, let's get started. I just kind of, like I said, just so I could see them better, I just grabbed the clump out of there, but I might dig back in there. Oh, look at the little pincushion. I have this pincushion. It's big. It's like that big. And it's got these little like sumo wrestler dudes with the little ponytails grabbing onto it. It's really cute. Like there's just so many little cute like bits and pieces that I necessarily, you know, wouldn't necessarily use in regular collage, but I love that. That's very like, that's fiesta wear. It kind of gives me like 1970s vibes, you know? Where do I want to start? Yeah, so sorry if anybody is very organized in their collaging and like, you know, you start on page 1 and that's that. Sorry if this is stressing you out. If you're a very, you know, super organized person. All this willy-nilliness. But I am very willy-nilly if you're new to my channel. I usually, you know, wing it or whatever. And yeah, I had mentioned in my last video that I'm going to start doing once a month, try to do something non-paper crafting related, because this is what I do for the most part, what I concentrate on. But, you know, I do like to do other crafty things too. I used to have like everything, every type of crafty thing, like supply. But then when I moved, it was just so much. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Like a lot of it, like especially like the kids' supplies and stuff, like styrofoam balls and things like that, popsicle sticks, you know, like all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, when am I ever going to use this? Or like floral design stuff. Like I kept a few flowers and I think some floral tape, and that was it. Because like, okay, if I ever want to make something, I'll just go and buy like, you know, the wreath form or whatever. Like I can't just keep all this stuff, right? And I may never do it again. So I'm like, yeah, chances are I'll never do it again. If I do, it's, you know, this stuff's all available at the dollar store. So I'll just go to the dollar store and buy, you know, stems or whatever kind of thing. And I only kept the floral tape, I think, because I had like 2 full rolls. So I just stuck them, and they're so tiny. I stuck them in my little bin of miscellaneous tapes in the makerspace, our home makerspace. Yeah, so I think I'm going to start with, for miscellaneous crafts, like I did keep, oh yeah, went on a side quest, little tangent there. I do sometimes trim these, by the way. I did get rid of a lot of just miscellaneous stuff, but I did keep things, like mostly things to do with like kind of paper crafting, like including like printmaking, things like that. Painting papers, you know, art. So I kept like canvases and things like that. And I kept any fiber craft type things. So I've got yarn. I've got my rug hooking stash, which is a huge shelf full of like wool fabric. And I have like, I have everything for rug hooking, like the little like wool stripper and all that. Love doing that, usually in the winter. I'm kind of feeling the urge actually. And oh my goodness, I should make little rugs. I made rugs for Luna and Artemis. They were like circle rugs that they could sit on or sleep on. And I had their faces and their names. Oh, I'll have to make Luke and Chewy each one. I have nobody with me on my desk today, by the way. They're both upstairs sleeping, so I was like, I'll go do a video. Yeah, so I do have things, though, that I don't do often that I want to do. Like, I had spoke a couple videos ago where I got this idea from, was Kim Newberg and I were talking, and yeah, we were talking about polymer clay, and I'm like, yeah, I have like a lot of polymer clay, but I mean, I haven't touched that probably for a couple years. And like, oh, like resin. I finally, my darling husband bought me some, like a beginner kit for UV resin. I think this looks good there because that's the same color. These are like some little label things I got at like Value Village. I got like a huge stack of them, and they're each like lettered, each letters kind of thing. So they're for like files. So yeah, we were talking and I was like, you know what? Yeah, Kim said she was going to try to do that. Like do, you know, like a different kind of craft that she doesn't normally do, you know, every once in a while or whatever. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good like New Year's resolution. Because I don't make New Year's resolutions like normal, you know, ones like diet and exercise and all that. Like that's, you know, you should be trying to do that all the time. But yeah. And I don't like walking in the winter. I hate the cold now. I'll go out walking in the summer, but I will not walk in the winter. Nope. Unless it's really nice. Like February, we get our little heat wave. But yeah, so that was my resolution to myself, creative resolution. So to once a month do a project that's not, you know, not what I normally do, not my paper crafting, whatever. Or even like kind of paper crafting. Like I have printmaking. I've been wanting to do some lino cutting forever. I have not done lino cutting in like years. And I have all the materials. I even have some like speedball ink and stuff. So yeah, I want to work on that. And I had mentioned when I was first talking about this, I think it was a couple videos ago or last video, I had borrowed Deb's jelly plate. Now, I never bought a jelly plate because A, they're like $80, which is ridiculous for like Jello, essentially Jello. But no, I never understood the point of them because I do painty papers, right? And like you just use dyes and paints and you just layer them. So I'm like, okay, but that's what you're doing on a jelly plate. Like when people do like, you know, the layers and layers. I mean, I can do that directly on the paper as painty papers. Plus, I don't have to wait for it to dry in between because I'm working on a whole bunch of painty papers at once. So I put, you know, as I'm putting them aside to dry, I'm grabbing the ones that are dry and adding the next layer to them kind of thing. Like I get out the stencils and all that, and I do that, you know, in a day. But then I finally discovered the whole image transfer thing. And then it made sense because I'm fascinated with the image transfer. Like I said, printmaking. I love printmaking. Yeah, the image transfer thing. So the whole magazine black and white image transfer thing, I want to play with that. So I've got Deb's jelly plate, and she's almost got her crafty room, I think, unpacked, or she's working on it. So she might want that back soon. Oh, look, this is so noisy in behind it. What I could do too is something like this. Like if I didn't want to spend all the time cutting all this out, I mean, I could just take a marker. I think that's what I'll do, like in the legs, because it's so small to cut out. I'll just take a marker and like color it in. You'll see what I mean. So I didn't really in that one, but in my small scrappy glue, little scrappy scrap glue books or whatever, scrap bin glue books, I like to, once in a while I like to doodle. Like I'll grab my fine line pens or, you know, my gel pens or something and just kind of doodle through it. I don't really add a lot of, like text, like in my normal collage, my normal, you know, day-to-day collage kind of thing. I do like adding text a lot to really, you know, create a theme kind of thing. But yeah, I don't really in these. I want to kind of, yeah, whatever. Okay. I think this Sharpie will work great. It's just, it's so busy behind it. Okay, we'll grab a Sharpie. I don't know if I have a small one. It's on magazine paper, so I'm thinking like a Sharpie is the best bet. I don't think I have a small one though. I'm gonna have to use a big one. Oh, wait, right here. A small black one. These dry up on me quick. And I mean, it's just a scrappy book, so... Okay, good, that works. So yeah, I'm just going to... I guess I could do that in red too, couldn't I? Yeah, that would work. But I'm just going to kind of cover that up. And I mean, I do this when I collage too. If there's something in an image I don't like, I'll like cut it off or, you know, cover it up or whatever. You know what? Maybe the big one would work better. Do I have a large? Talking about having a small one. No, I can't. Okay, there we go. I have like a bin of Sharpies because when I first started doing mail art, like that's kind of how I got into like junk journaling and collaging and glue booking and stuff. I started out in scrapbooking in like 99, early 2000s. And then I kind of evolved, right? Art journaling and stuff. And mail art was a big thing. So ATCs, handmade postcards, all that stuff, right? There was like inchies. I loved inchies. That's a little 1x1 square of paper. I love the challenge of finding things to make on inchies. So yeah, anyway, and then I went from that. That's why I have all the Sharpies. Because yeah, when I first started out, they were cheap. And I'd do my, you know, I'd draw some ATCs in them or whatever. They're stinky though. But yeah, so, oh, wait, there's a chair behind it. There. Isn't that much better? And I mean, I could even, I've only got a couple things on this page so far, but I feel the need to do this. It's a great way to use a paper you don't like too. I don't like that print at all. Ugh. But, you just put it in here and your scrappy book and then you cover it all up. But put red things on this page, which is looking like I'm leaning towards. And the background showing through is a good thing. but it'll be just bits showing through, not the whole like pattern. Okay. Whew, I'm dry today. Okay. What else here? I guess quite a few of these I have fussy cut actually. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, okay, we'll put her somewhere. Oh, that's gonna be so cute. This paper, I'm over. I've had that paper for like, I probably had that paper for at least 20 years. It's like, ugh. It's just so old now. Like I'm so bored of the pattern. And it was like a bunch of different patterns. Like it was all like a pack together kind of thing. So all of these colors and like, you know, each pattern in different little colorways or whatever. This is kind of a great way too to get your creative juices flowing. If you just kind of go through and pop in, you know, I do that in my regular collage books too. I'll do some backgrounds, just, you know, make a background of random scraps or whatever, usually in like, you know, a color scheme. But then, yeah, in the future, when you're like, you know what, I'm not feeling really creative, and you kind of flip through and you're like, okay, well, look, this page has got a background and it's pink, and maybe I'll build on that. Let's see if I can find something that goes with that kind of thing. So that can definitely help. Like that goes with that. Really nice. Yeah, so these were created out of necessity in the ongoing war against paper scraps, keeping my paper scrap stash down. It's not too bad when I collage, because collaging I don't usually, you know, take out scrapbooking paper and cut some out of it and have leftovers. Like collaging is usually just what I have kind of thing, the images. And then if I do have like say a background or something, I kept like, say I have this and I like use, you know, this portion of it, and I have that just goes right back in my little, you know, scrappy book, whatever bin. This was it was a Copic marker book, little booklet that you kept track of your collection in. So when you go shopping for Copic markers, when they were on sale, then I could see what I had. But they came out with an app, so I just kind of took the book apart. It's really nice, like cardstocky kind of paper. So yeah, that ended up in my scrap bin. I'm pretty sure I used the background for, you know, a few things here and there. Probably ended up in like ATC backgrounds and things like that. You never know. Now playing. No, it doesn't really go there. And just like weird things that I don't necessarily even like super like, but that looks neat. But I mean, what would I use that in collage? It's like an old English hunting kind of thing. This is kind of way too long for this book though, but maybe I could put it, I mean, I could put it in the middle. And it would fold. And like you saw, these aren't really that bulky. I mean, this is full. So yeah. I mean, when you let go of it, it kind of alligators a bit, but really it squishes down. So I can fit a bunch of these on my shelf, a bunch of finished ones. I may put some in a basket or something, maybe. All my little wee finished journals and collage books, glue books and things. Okay, now you glue and you push that down, and then you fold to make sure that it will fold properly. There we go. Okay. There we go. You got to do that when it's wet. Otherwise, it could like mess up the whole thing. It'll, if it dries not folded, then you fold it, it can like tear or like mess up the paper, tear the paper, yada, yada. Yeah, I got all kinds of little bits and pieces. Let's see. I've got a bunch of like little people. Like yeah. People running. I love this horse. It's gorgeous. I forget which painting that is, but it's a famous painting. Definitely. Oh, look at this. Look at this little chick. Cute. Oh, she needs to go on the little pink. She kind of blend in there, but that's okay, because I'll just doodle around her later on. Get out my get out my neon gel pens. Here. Oh, I had mentioned in my last video about Luke, how he had fallen and got caught on a shelf and blah, blah, blah. He is doing much, much better. He was on his, he had anti-inflammatories and painkillers, and man, he's taking them like a champ. He's figured out very quickly that if he takes his medicine, he gets a treat. So like last night, he didn't even try to fight me at all. Like he didn't put his paw up, he didn't pull his head back. I just popped the pill in. He's a very good boy. He's as good a boy as Artemis. Definitely. Yeah, he's a very good boy. Like this. What am I going to use that for? But it looks so cool. Like I love, love, love those colors. Oh, I'll put it there because it kind of goes with that. I guess I'm in a bit of a matchy mood today, I guess. Sometimes it just, you know, it's like, oh, I'll kind of do this page in blues. Because it is aesthetically pleasing to flip to, you know, flip to a page and it's all the same color scheme. Sometimes I keep the most like ridiculous little tiny bits, but like I love this. It's like somebody's like little watercolor drawing of like a crowd of people. Yep. Totally lost there. So what's everybody doing? What are you doing this week? What are you working on? Anybody doing anything exciting? Oh, there was somebody who commented on my last video. I forget their name, but hello. I believe it was a gentleman. He said that at 60, I think he said he was 65. He just started glue booking. Good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's one of those things you kind of wish you had found decades ago, though, right? It's like, man, if I'd have been doing this forever, this is so cool. So relaxing. And he said my image stash is impressive. It's like, yeah, that's because I've been collecting images even before I really knew what I was going to do with them. It was like an obsessive thing to collect them. I love to collect and organize and have them by theme. So I used my mail art as an excuse, but there's definitely no way I was using very many that way. But I still kept them, and yeah, yeah, it's a labor of love because I really do love it. So yeah, I've been collecting for like 20 years at least. Yeah, like 20 years. So that's why I'm, yeah, very lucky to have the collection I do of images. Now, this one's like a card. I think it was a cover of a book, like a paper book. I'm gonna glue it with this, but I have a feeling I might come back. It might not stay well. I'll have to come back with the art glitter glue. That's a liquid glue. That's like super sticky. This one too. It's from like Lisa Frank or something, I think. That kind of look cool with that, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. So I'd mentioned, I think a few weeks ago, every January-ish, I get a large order. I'm a seamstress by profession. A large order of pants that I have to hem. It's one of my commercial customers. They have a client that like they sell uniforms and stuff. So this client buys like their whole warehouse pants. So it ends up being like 200 pairs of pants for all their employees. I think each person gets like 4 or 5 pairs or whatever. And so they've all got to be hemmed. So yeah, I picked them up last night. And I'm going to get started on that today. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a little collage first. Kind of get myself in, you know, the mindset. And then, yeah, buckle down. And it gets tedious and very boring, but yeah. It is what it is. It pays the bills. I don't do much sewing anymore. Like, I don't sew for the general public at all anymore, kind of thing. Unless it's like a friend or something. Yeah, because I'm like, meh. Oh, I also do the inside covers, of course. Don't leave anything blank. Yeah, put that there. Pants hemming. It's one thing I'm really good at, though, I gotta say, because I'm short. I'm 4'11". I've hemmed my pants my whole life. Thankfully, my grandmother taught me how to sew when I was little. So I learned how to sew / hem out of necessity. I once hemmed a pair of pants while wearing them. How impressive is that, right? Oh, Lord. This goes really well with that yellow. But hang on, didn't I have something else on the yellow here that was yellow? Oh, yeah, that. Do I want that too? Yeah, I think I'll put that. So yeah, right now the cats, well, it's pretty well just Luke that's kind of not allowed in the studio, because I gotta say, Chewy, he is agile. He's only 6 to 7 months old, and that cat, it's just amazing, like the things he can do. Like it's crazy, his parkour and stuff. You got to be careful though. If you're sitting on the couch in the living room when he's getting his, he's in his parkour mood, you're going to become part of the obstacle course. He will parkour off of you. Is this fish a weird shape, or did I just cut something out of him? It looks like it was the border, I guess, but it also looks like I cut a chunk out of it. I also have this thing for jellyfish. I don't know why. Or jellyfish, goldfish, like guppies and things or whatever. The fish with the big eyeballs. Love me some big eyeball fish. Kind of just blends in, right? Hard to see. Oh, so my faith in humanity has been restored a bit. My God. When Rob and I were out yesterday, I had done some dropping off of marketplace things. So I had cash on me from that. And I got home, I didn't have the cash anymore. So I'm like, oh no. So I called one store we had been at, and because we knew it was like I had it at a certain point, so I was checking everywhere afterwards. So I messaged the lady on Marketplace I had bought something from and picked up. I'm like, can you possibly check your driveway? I'm like, I might have dropped it, getting out of the car. It's because these stupid jeans I was wearing, the pockets in them are super shallow. And I didn't want to bring my wallet and my purse and everything with me. I just had like just a hoodie on or whatever. So yeah, I had them in the pocket of my pants, but the pocket's only like that deep. So she went and checked, and then finally Rob's like, oh wait, we went to this place too. So I was like, yeah, it's gone, right? It's cash. So I called and somebody found it and turned it in. How awesome is that? It's like, yeah, wow, thank you. They didn't leave their name or anything. I mean, I'd like to do something nice for them, but yeah. My faith in humanity has been restored somewhat. So thank you to whomever you were. See, I kind of like this because it goes with that, but I don't want it on that because then it just disappears. But I ended up with so many images fussy cut because it's something I like to do, like to relax. So like a lot of the time too, when we go in the car, we're going on a road trip, I will bring like a Ziploc bag full of images and a pair of scissors. And that's what I do. I like to fussy cut. Either you love it or you hate it. I don't know if there's anybody like kind of meh, like, indifferent about it. Fussy cutting. I know if you, yeah. I think most people hate it. I think more people dislike it than like it. But I don't know. I find it so relaxing. The fussy cutting. Okay, here. So there's not necessarily any, there's no plan for this. I just, glue as I go. Doesn't have to make a coherent image either. Like this kind of doesn't make sense, but whatever. It looks cute. This is like a vintage kids book. I think it was, I'm guessing, I think it was called Humpty Dumpty magazine. It was from the 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe. Something like that. No, maybe I think it was a little newer. I think it might have been 40s or 50s, I think, yeah. Seems it's like coloring book paper. That's what it feels like. It's really delicate coloring book paper, and plus it's what is coloring book paper anyway? It's almost like a newsprint but thicker. It's like a thick newsprint, really textured. I mean, like vintage kids. It's not vintage. I think they're still made out of it, but the kids coloring book paper, not all the fancy schmancy adult coloring book paper. Now it's all hoity-toity and made for markers and stuff. No, this is the good old stuff made for crayons. You know what? That's why it's got a rough texture. Yes, because then crayons would be easier. It'd be easier to mark on with crayons. They go on better. Sorry if you hear a snowblower. Rob's outside snow blowing. We got dumped with quite a bit of snow in the past couple days. Snow and cold, that's new. Normally when it snows, it kind of warms up. It's like at freezing or maybe a degree or two below. Usually it's like a degree or two above, but nope. Yeah, we've gotten the cold and the snow at the same time, which is ugh. I think a lot of like North America, at least upper North America, has gotten it, the polar vortex. Or maybe just the northern states, I don't know, but yeah, it's cold. The older I get, the more I hate the cold. But I mean, I am Canadian, so so I can deal with a lot of cold, but I prefer not to go out if I can help it. Go out in the cold. Not like when I was a kid and you go out from dawn till dusk and your mittens and snow pants would be all soaked and you wouldn't want to come in. You still want to be outside. No, that's not me anymore. Definitely not. There's another fish. What is it with fish? I don't know. There maybe. Yeah, this is so relaxing. I'm not quite done my glue book for Glue Book January yet. I did finally find an obelisk. Yeah. It ended up being in, because I knew there was one in Paris, because we had been to Paris and seen it. And so Rob said exactly what I had said. Like, he's like, just print your picture of it. We took pictures of it. I'm like, yeah, but then I got to go in and find it and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It feels like cheating to print it. I feel like I need to find it, right? I mean, you can just go online and print images of everything. Like, I like the challenge. So I remembered I had some Paris books. Like, I checked my Paris or France file in my filing cabinet, nada. So I checked my Paris books I had bought for like to make my honeymoon journal, because it's Paris in England. So I've got a few like hardcover like coffee table books kind of thing that I've bought over the last few years to use with that. So I went through one of them, big honking one of them. It's like a huge book. And then I found the obelisk, and it's like that tall. But it's there. It is there. Yep. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Yay. And everything else was pretty easy to find, really. Like, because like, yeah, I do have the, like I said, a large image library, large image stash, which is kind of a bummer in a way, because like for hunting for things, like, yeah, I go through my images and find them, but it is better to go through magazines and find them. It's more satisfying. I don't even have any magazines right now. I think I got like maybe 2 magazines that are kind of, I haven't harvested. So yeah, even to find, I'd have to have more than that to find everything I'd need for Glue Book January for sure. All of the images. So do you guys, I know a lot of people that follow me do glue books and collage. What kinds of things do you prefer? I know a lot of people are getting into doing like a lot of neat different glue books kind of thing. Like, well, I have like my scavenger hunt glue book, which every 2-page spread is something I like. There's one for like piggy banks, one for unicorns, one for whatever. one for cats, one for butterflies. Yeah. And then I have my alphabet glue book, which every page is, it's all things that start with one letter of the alphabet, A through Z. And, yeah, I have like a pastel glue book and whatever. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But I've seen some really neat ones lately, especially from Nicole over at Relax Cut Glue. Like, she's got one I watched yesterday that, it's all squares. So it's like a smaller glue book and every page is squares that she's punched out, 1.5 inch squares, I think she said. And she makes a grid, but every page is like a different theme. Like I think one was eyes and one was, yeah, I think there was like a color one and things like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. So what's everyone, yeah, got going on? I've got, what else was I going to do? There's a few more glue books that I have like that I want to do, but I haven't started yet. I don't even remember now. There was like a couple different things I wanted to try. Ideas. But yeah, I don't remember right now. Sorry. I got it written down somewhere, but put that there, I think. So yeah, has anybody got any like cool, like different glue books that they've got going on, or collage books, junk journals kind of thing? Oh, I'm also working on making bee junk journals. I haven't worked on them for a couple months though, since before we got the kittens. But now, yeah, they're older, so they, they can be alone a lot more. So like I said, I left them sleeping upstairs to come down here today. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to working on that. The bee journals. I have a big list of like junk journals I want to make, like themes. And I just kind of randomly picked one. I've also got to get going on the strawberry shortcake journal. That one's exciting. I might wait till Deb's done hers though, because then she can, give me her leftovers. All her leftover images and things. Come on. Kim has donated so much to us for the strawberry journals for sure. Any strawberry shortcake thing or strawberry theme thing she finds. My Little Ponies. Oh, this little anime girl. She's adorable. I think, no, that's not Rini. I was going to say from Sailor Moon. This is just a little corner of a book page that had like that's probably like a library ID sticker or something. So from a used book that I had bought at some point. See, I'll just cover this. I like that, but this is meh. Too dark and dreary. We'll make that a little fancier. Or maybe I'll put it down here actually. Kind of start from the edge. Slide it. And these books, I don't really even worry usually about like trimming the edge and stuff. If it goes over the edge, it's like meh. A lot of the time I won't worry about it. Especially if it's the smaller pages, it's not going to stick out on the top. Like, look at that. That's just from a calendar. A little burb. A little tickety. Yeah, maybe I'll put that right there. Again, this is almost like a plasticky paper, and it's like a grid. I don't know if you can see that. It's like printed like a grid. This is one of those expensive calendars, you know what I mean? The ones that you buy like that in the 90s, like went into like the wooden frame. They make excellent journal covers, like soft journal covers. I have one that I'm saving. It's a succulent calendar I had. And it's that nice, like, yeah, thicker, almost plasticky feeling. But yeah, I was saying it's plasticky, so that may not stick with the glue stick. Might have to come back and do the little check. Wait, where's the other check? Might have to come back and glue it with the art glitter glue. Oh, look at that little check. This is going to be like an Easter theme page, not on purpose, but there's the bunnies and there's a chick. Oh, I'll put him right there to cover that blue. There. So I thought I had something else to tell you guys too, but I don't remember. Luke's doing good. The babies are doing good. Oh, Luke is such a sweetheart. He so cute. He wakes us up often. He hadn't for a little bit because like he hurt his leg and stuff, whatever. But yeah, he He comes in the morning and wakes us up with kisses and snuzzles. He snuzzles us with his snoot, but he shoves it into our face like he's trying to like shove his snoot up our nose or something. So funny. Then he like washes my nose or face or whatever, and yeah, super cute. It's like, yeah, Rob said this morning, that's like the best way to wake up. Artemis used to just yell. He'd get on the stool beside the bed and just yell for me to get up and feed him or slap me. Slap me, or sometimes he'd tickle me. He'd reach under the blanket and like tickle my side. But Luke's all like, he knows he's gonna schmooze us, right? Or we're not getting out of bed. He's like, please, somebody feed me up. I love you guys. But he was like this since the night we got him. The night we got him, when he was back and forth between us, and just he was so excited, and he'd run up and give us hugs and kisses, like snuzzles and kisses, and then he'd go from me to Rob and back, and just the cutest thing. He's so loving. Like, he was so grateful that we adopted him. It was a little, look, speaking of kittens, look at that. He, yeah, it was just like the cutest thing ever. Okay, I'll put him here. It's like a yellowy gold orangey page. There. I find I'm constantly kind of, maybe like, not a lot, but like on a regular basis, I'm moving images around. Like, I'm working in this, and then I'm like, you know what? I'd probably rather have that in, you know, my Alex drawers in my flower bin, because I'd rather have it like, you know, I'll use that in a flower collage or whatever. So things like that, like, and I mean, this I consider a flower petal, so probably put that in there, you know what I mean? So, and sometimes I'm going through, you know, those images, and I put them back in here, or I put them in here, or they go in the filing cabinet, or stuff in the filing cabinet comes out. I'm always trying to take stuff out of the filing cabinet, actually. So when I go through, yeah, because my filing cabinet gets full quick. It's pretty good right now, actually. I'd purged a bunch of images before I moved, but I used to kind of keep like everything. But then I kind of realized, it's like, okay, why am I keeping all these images of, like, say, sports? And I don't care about sports at all, really. So I went through and kept, like, you know, a couple pictures of each sport kind of thing for scavenger, you know, scavenger hunt uses. So yeah, I've been keeping it down. What happened was, I have one filing cabinet, 4-drawer letter size. I do wish it was legal size, but yeah. And once that got too full, and I'm like, okay, I have to start going to my second filing cabinet, which I keep other stuff in. I was like, no, that's too much. I need to get rid of some of that. So yeah, that's when I started sorting through and, you know, getting rid of pictures that I was like, oh, I don't even like this style. Like, what? Why am I keeping this? So yeah, but I find it is, like, collage image collecting kind of thing is an ongoing process. Like, I'm kind of always or like learning how I prefer to work kind of thing, like my organizing, and like, this is just a little background bit. It's really cute, right? A little bit of paper money. Yeah, so I am kind of always, I guess, like, streamlining my process kind of thing, like my organization style or system. There we go. But I think I've got it pretty good right now. It seems to be pretty, like, it's pretty functional. Like, I seem to be working well with it. So I have my filing cabinet, which is all my backup images. Like, that's my image library. If I can't find anything kind of thing, or if I need something very specific, I go there kind of thing. Like I said, like football, something like that. I know to go there. It's not in my normal everyday images. And then I have my Alex bin, Alex drawers from IKEA, the drawer system. And in it, I have all boxes like these, like little, like, stationery boxes. These are like vintage stationery and stuff. I always buy vintage stationery when I find it at Valley Village thrift stores. So I keep these boxes because they're nice and sturdy. And then I'll label them. And then, like, I have images sorted into them. So yeah, like, I have one for birds, one for flowers kind of things. So I put things in there that I think I'll probably use in, you know, in the near future kind of thing. Like interesting things. Like, that's what all these are too. They're like interesting, neat little things. Oh, hang on. This has got to go in here. Yeah, look at that. The runway. legs. And then I have, I discovered this because I was reading a collage book. I forget the name of it. Is it on my shelf? No, it's not right now. But yeah, it's this man who does collage, and he keeps all of his images in bins, like bigger than this, like plastic bins, and just random, nothing sorted or anything. So I'm like, I wonder, like, because I do love, you know, searching for things and things. Like, so I'm like, it does please me to like dig through a bin and find random things. So I have a bin on the go now of like just all my favorite images, just things I like. And again, like I'll, you know, find things and drop them in there, and I'm sure, you know, I'll be going through it and I'll find, like it's relatively new. I only started doing this like, I don't know, like in the last like 6 months or so. But I mean, if I go through and I'm like, you know what, I don't really like this image anymore, then I'll toss it back into my, you know, regular collage or whatever, or file it away or toss it, whatever. So yeah, I find the system is working pretty good for me. I will do a tour of it. I'm going to do a tour of my craft room. I'm debating whether to finish my trim or not. I've got my trim painted. Oh, here we go. Oh, look, they're like the same colors. Maybe I'll put her like there though. I'll kind of put something there. Or wait, I'll put her there because then it stands out against the little bit of phone book or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm kind of debating because my trim is kind of like I just got some paint wiped on it because I painted some shells and I didn't want to waste the paint because I had to use artist acrylic, not like, you know, regular house paint, so it was expensive to paint. And yeah, so when I painted the shells, every time I finished a layer or whatever, I'd bring down the brush and wipe it off on my trim. So right now I've kind of got blobs of paint on my trim in my studio. So I kind of want to finish that, but if I do, then my craft room tour will never come. And it's almost ready. Like I just got to finish organizing my calyx unit. I did get I got another insert. And yeah, I just got to kind of tweak the organization on that a little bit and make some labels. And then I should be able to do a studio tour. And I'm very excited because I do love my studio. And I love, love, love that Luke and Chewy come in here. Chewy comes in by himself and sleeps. Like he comes in, like if you can't find him, come down here and come down to the basement and into the studio, and he's usually up on my table asleep. So cute. Very cute. Like, look at this. This is like the teeniest, tiniest image ever. If this was in my regular collage image bin, I would never find that. Now, where'd I put that other little image? Wait, I mean, that could go there, but I had another little brown image. Hang on. I don't often do like vintagey brown things. That's not my style. I'm very color. So Deb and I had last summer, or I think it was last year for my birthday, or not last year, the year before. Yeah, we did a bunch of paper dyeing, like a whole bunch of paper dyeing. It took like a week to do, like, yeah. And I realized since that I'm like, I don't really like grunge, like really like dirty, you know, grungy. I'm like, I'm not big on grunge. So I gave her all my grunge paper. I was like, here, like, I don't know why I thought I wanted this. Like I'll do tea dye and coffee dye and stuff, but I don't like the grungy stuff. So no offense to anybody that's a huge Tim Holtz fan. Like Tim Holtz he's done a lot for the paper crafting world. Like he's made a lot of things like popular and, you know, so kudos to him. He is awesome. But yeah, I just realized that it's not just like vintage. I'm not really, I prefer to work in colors, bright colors. Once in a while, the mood strikes me where I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll do something kind of vintage. But for the most part, I do definitely usually lean towards color. I think this was like a vintage magazine, like this was some like romance ad or something. It looks like Elizabeth Taylor a little. Is that Elizabeth Taylor? No, I don't think so. I don't know if I could pick out a picture of her though, like a younger picture of her. Okay, I really like this background too. Maybe I'll put her over here. She was a little bit before my time. There's a little girl sitting in a chair. I like to use black and white images though. I was talking about not doing vintage too much, but I like mixing black and white images. with colorful like backgrounds and things. Love, love, love that. I had one small like junk journal kind of art book kind of thing, art journal kind of thing, where I did that. And like I started doing that. I was using like, I think old like black and white newspaper images and mixed it in with like all the like the bright, I think it was the time I got into like dilutions. So all the bright sprays and paints and things. Like I did a bunch of painty papers and with that or whatever, with the dilutions. If you're familiar with those, they're really bright. Yeah, that was what happened. And then so I started doing that and I was like, man, I love this together. The black and white images and bright colors. Okay, I'll put her there. Oh, I'm definitely going to do a haul video for tomorrow because I have got like a bunch of stuff. Like it's been forever since I did a haul, and I do have some things. Like I had gotten some things, Christmas things from, that's how long it's been since I've done a haul. I got like Christmas presents from Deb. I got stuff that Rob and I bought after Christmas, like kind of on sale, and like just stuff. And then Emily yesterday, thank you, Emily. She gave me a big box of stuff, and I think it's mostly vintage ephemera. It was, I believe, her grandmother's stuff. So it's all like, you know, birthday cards and things like that. Her grandmother had it and then her mom had it. So it got passed down to Emily and she was going through it. And I hope she kept some of it or at least like scanned it in or something. But if not, Emily, if you want me to scan any of that, like so you can keep the sentiments or whatever, let me know. But yeah, she gifted it to me. I love, love, love vintage ephemera, like genuine vintage ephemera, like greeting cards and things like that. Absolutely love. And I love this little girl. Isn't she adorable? I love that art style, like her little cheeks. Her little cheeks are all rosy. Oh, I'm going to put her on there because like the pink. Yeah, I'll put her on there. Wait, hang on. Before I put her down, I kind of maybe want to put like a little background bit. Let's see. Oh, I also have I did a little bit of sorting of my background pieces. Because I had some that were like huge and I had some that were like small. So these are like the smaller ones. Well, they're not all. These are like that's kind of a medium kind of one, but yeah, but there are some little teeny tiny ones. I do have some in here too though, but I also have some in here. There we go, little teeny tiny bits of like background bits. So yeah, these are good to use in the little scrappy journals too. Love this. It's just like a little bit of knitting, right? I gotta do some needle felting soon. I found out that Chewy is like, he's crazy for bells. Rob had bought me this little cute, like, this Chinese New Year. Walmart does like a Chinese New Year display every year of like, you know, they sell like bits and pieces. And I love Maneki Neko, which is the waving cat of good fortune. And they had a plush Maneki Neko. He's pretty big. I'll show him in my haul. He's like that big. Anyway, he's got a bell on his collar and Chewy is like, what is that? He lost his little mind. So I'm going to needle felt some balls and put bells inside them for them. Yeah. And speaking of cat toys, man, the dollar store, like Dollarama in Canada, you got to be careful with the cat toys there because a lot of them are super unsafe. We got this one on a string and it had like a couple pom-poms and stuff, but it also had like a bell and it's like, and beads like that. And it's like, okay, they could get that off there and eat those and like choke. Love this. This was a little book, little long book. And it was about this camera. I forget what it was called. It started with an L. It was a certain style of camera. I think it was popular in the 70s. And you could take a bunch of pictures and it would print them, I think, in a group. Or you could, I think, on the camera itself, you could like mosaic like the prints together and it would print out like different prints in the one, like on the one piece of like photo paper or whatever, I think. But yeah, I am loving like the little bits and pieces. It's just so random. Like if you look, like you can see the themes pretty much, but like, look at that. That's really cool. The Ferris wheel, like, yeah. So I think I'm going to cut this part off. I'm not really keen on that. That's like the Dallas Cowboys or whatever. Like I said, football, meh. But I mean, that kind of goes with that. What time we at? I said I was going to give myself an hour. Oh, 59:45. How about that? I figured I'd give myself an hour to do some collage, and then I go upstairs and start hemming pants. Womp womp. Little bits and pieces of like trim. Actually, really, this should be in my, like I have a little bin in my Alex for like decorative bits. So like any little bits of lace and things like that, I put in there. Look at that. That's from like a 60s tie-dye book. I got some cool images out of that. It's the other side of that. Okay, yeah, that works. Kind of not straight, but that's okay. Whatever. Okay, that kind of bugs me that that's not straight though. So, yeah, listen to me. Scrappy book. It doesn't matter, you know. It's all right. Nothing has to be straight or whatever. And I'm like, no, that needs to be straight. I don't have my paper cutter down here, do I? I don't know what did I do with that anyway? I had it for something. I had it upstairs for something. And I thought I brought it back down, but apparently I didn't. I cannot cut straight to save my life. You should see me trying to cut bread. Like if I get a loaf of homemade bread, yeah, no. It is not a talent I possess, which is funny because I'm artistic, but no, I cannot cut a straight line. Cannot cut something straight to save my life. Okay, and I think I kind of want to rip it. Maybe a little different look. So yeah, let me know. What's everyone working on this year? Like, do you have any goals, you know, especially artsy ones? Like, do you have any projects you want to finish or work on, start or whatever, or learn a new craft or anything like that? Let me know. Yeah. And if it's a little piece, I'll leave it. Well, you know what? That's fine. I can leave that hanging. That doesn't bug me. Yeah. So I think I'm going to call that a day. Yeah, see, I got quite a bit done, quite a bit stuck in there. It's a good way to bust like scraps, like I said, to make it out of scraps. And then I'm using all little, you know, scraps and teeny tiny images to put in it. I do actually throw some paper scraps. I don't keep everything. I know it looks like I do. I don't keep everything. I say that and I'm like, I really do not like that paper. And some reason I still had it in my scrap bin, or this one. Yeah. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Yeah, and hitting that like button. I would appreciate that. It'd be awesome. Thank you. And yeah, let me know. Let me know what you're working on. I really want to know. All right, so thanks for watching, and have yourself a great crafty rest of your week. Bye.